So, Beata, we would like you to hear a little about your story and how you started. So, when you look back at your professional path, what were the most important milestones that shaped who you are today?
First is secondary school and really good colleagues and good team, helping me developing my personality, openness, but also managing the group. Yes. Then studies. Yes, of course, studies. I have finished my studies as a psychologist, but decided not to be the therapist, but being involved in the science. Yes, and academic life. And the second milestone was meeting my supervisor in this time, really good person, good scientist, but also good colleague, leading me to my doctoral dissertation, and very careful and very patient and so on, accepting my different ways. I try to develop new ways in my life, and then starting business. I think it was very important, because in 1995 I met my old colleague, and she invited me to be a member of a managerial team in a totally new company, market research company, which was a little new for me. I had a little background, but it was a good challenge. The situation made my life totally different than before. Yes, I started to be more responsible for other people, yes, than before. There was several others, but I think it was the last big milestone. Then, yes, being a president of a new society involved in nature, and this is why I'm here.
And what originally drew you to the psychology and opinion research?
By accident, yes.
Yeah.
It was just, 90s in Poland. It was so crazy time that everyone could make everything, yes, even without experience. So having a little experience in something, a little knowledge, you could start totally new business. So it was totally by accident. But psychology, I think it was a choice connected with my youth, yes, and being open for other people, and it was because of the colleague, the group, and also being involved in biology. Biology was the background, yes.
So, were there any particular research projects that made you realize why are people interested in trees and why are people interested in nature?
There's not so many, but I remember one which was conducted in early 2000, maybe 2 or 3. We asked people across the Europe in different countries about knowledge, very simple knowledge of different terms, and a lot of terms or words, even words connected with nature, were not known by Polish society. And then I think my own surveys connected with attitudes toward nature in general, but also toward trees, the fear against trees, and also attitude toward management, tree management. Yes, so I started it in 2015, as I remember, 14, 15, so 10 years now, yeah.
And it's very interesting to speak with you about trees because mainly people in arboriculture come from profession of forestry, horticulture, some engineer industry, and you're coming from psychology and you have MBA in management. So how did this view shape how you think about trees and the green infrastructure?
I think it gives me a little more points of view. Yeah. So first of all, I see the relationship between trees and people, not only in technical aspect, but also attitude, knowledge, fears, emotions, feelings, and so on, so on. So this is why I really like Stefano Mancuso, researchers connected with physiology, neurophysiology of plants, yes. The second point of view, really interesting, is that I try to understand trees as a, I said identity today, but unique organism, yes, and it is. So I see something else, just a plant, yeah, and but I understand that this point of view could be not rational for people, yes, because they don't see sometimes nature as a partners for people, yes. They even say animals and people, but we are animals. Also, yes, we are mammals. So, but people don't understand it. But I understand it as a psychologist, yes. And managerial pillar gives me a more strategical point of view. So I like concept like urban forestry, for example, tree management, yes. Urban forestry as a group of trees, as a whole project, and so on, and the relationship between different kingdoms, yes, animals, fungi. I really like if people say flora, fauna, and fungi. Yes, and I think this is the specificity of connected with these different pillars. Yes. I think also psychological background helps me a little bit with leading people, yes, with understanding them and so on. But I'm still just a human being, yes.
You spent quite a few years professionally running and supervising research, also managing private clients, public clients. You were a president of the association. So what could you tell arborists about decision making and public relations?
Try to see the other point of view. So going to the task or going to, I don't know, the work job, to trying to understand requirements or recommendations, something. Try to understand what other side or your interlocutor or your partner, your contracting agency, your client would like really to gain. Because sometimes it is written down to fell a tree, but it's not the real target. Sometimes it's to fulfill people's expectation, and people ask us to fell that tree. So maybe it is another way to fulfill this expectation. So try to understand better the situation, not only literally what is written down, you are asked for, and so on. And from psychological point of view, it's very difficult because we are focused usually only on one point. It's normal. This is our humans' nature. Yes, it's easiest and so on. But sometimes stepping back, yes, just make step back helps a lot. Yes.
Yes.
And the solution could be totally different, like with this old situation and old problem with the orange, yes? If you would like to the skin or inside. Just dividing orange for two halves, it's not the same, yes? My managerial and my psychological background gives me this knowledge and sometimes skills.
What was the point in your career that the trees became not just a research topic, but we can say now that the trees are your main professional goal? You mainly work.
I cannot say that it's my main subject. Yes, but it's a big subject, as important as other pillars in my life. But the start was very simple. It was a personal relationship with an arborist,
Okay.
known by someone. But a step earlier, it was this society connected with nature, protecting gardens in our regional area, Lower Silesia. So I met then a lot of so nice people involved also in arboriculture. So I discovered that trees are so interesting, and then I decided, okay, I will be more involved because of the personal relationships, and then I get more connections. So I think now it's the second main area in my life. Yes, except my managerial and market research.
So you obtained psychological education, you obtained MBA in management, and then you also obtained some certifications and education in veteran tree care and green management. It's not easy to go back to the exams, go back to get yourself certified. That's a little stressful time. And what was your motivation to put yourself again on this?
First of all, it was the real knowledge. It was my post-diploma study connected with protecting environment, with certification on the end, yes, so the full exam on the end and so on. But the exam in this area was not so important as getting real knowledge. And it was wonderful studies with a lot of experiences, study visits, and so on. So in this area, I need skills and I need knowledge. The paper was not so important. In veteran certification, I would like to prove my competences. Especially important for me because I'm a little out of background, yes, without biology, without forestry, without gardening or something like this, yes, or arboriculture. So now I think, as usual, if you have proof of your competence, so examination, certification, so on, you are more safe. And it is easier also for your partners to be on the same level because they see you are on the good level of qualification, yes?
How did your collaboration with Tree Institute start?
Two different things are connected with this because firstly, Tree Institute, Instytut Drzewa was a brand, yes, so I helped to develop this brand. And then when the decision was done about establishing a company, I was invited by Piotr and by Kamil to be a member of the company, so I agreed for this. But we have started to cooperate earlier. I don't remember how it was. With manuals, with some trainings, with some recommendations, something like this. The cooperation was step by step in different areas, yes.
Listening to you, I must notice you made quite a huge change in your professional lives. I mean, from psychology marketing, everything. And was it at some point risky? Did you feel you're making a risk by changing a profession to more tree-related?
Maybe it will be surprising for you, but I'm still involved in each area.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm still the manager, the co-owner of the market research company and active market researcher. As a psychologist, I'm not so involved. But I'm involved in the social projects, I can say, and then I use my psychological background. For example, I am involved in an Erasmus Plus project connected with professional burnout, and I'm co-author of some programs to prevent professional burnout in several different groups. Yes, teachers also. So it's really fascinating how it's possible with, for example, Stoicism. Yes, learn how to be a Stoic, and the arboriculture and teaching here and so on is a kind of passion. It's a kind of hobby. I earn some money in this area also, but I discover here a lot of new things. Yes. So I think it's the most creative part of my life.
That connects to my next question is some things for arboriculture, because you don't originally come from this background here, you must learn from scratch. Was this difficult from the beginning?
You know, I learn easily still new things, and I like it. I have my mind very open, but what is the most interesting things I really involved now, it's a real tree biology. Yes, just understanding very simple things like photosynthesis, what is wood decay, what enzymes, what hormones means, and so on, so on, so on. And I see that a lot of people who are involved in arboriculture from the background are not so good as I need. So I look for more scientist reports, articles. There's a lot of new things now, new research, and I think we can do this area more and more informative, also for experienced tree workers or tree technicians or experienced arborists. Even static, yes, stability of trees, not so easy. Even if I involved in the instrumental diagnostic for years, I think it's a lot to do here. I think it's very important that I am still researcher. So, for example, I move from this part of my life to arboriculture. My knowledge, my qualification connected with expertise. Because expertise is expertise, yes? If you are expert, you can move from topic to topic, but you have very good background with methodology, yes? You can prepare good experiment, you can prepare good survey, you can analyze the result, and could prepare the good conclusion. And you can check the whole process. So I'm really good in checking expertises prepared by other people, which is a little dangerous for them.
Connecting to the research, you are for long-term researching how people in Poland react to trees, what they feel about trees, what they think. Do you see there some change of trend? Or?
You know, in 2016, we've had a big change in our law regulation connected with protecting trees, and it opened the eyes of big part of population that trees are important. And this time I had a chance to compare the attitudes toward felling trees before and after, and it was a big change. Up to 10% more people saying felling trees is not so good. Yes, in one year. Is even people who are owner of trees, so probably for them this change in law regulation was better. And then I check at different things. Yes, for example, if people really afraid trees or not, what are the sources of fear, what they think. And it was for me surprising that in general people think that other people afraid trees more themselves. So I don't afraid trees, but other people yes. Yes. So it's typical that we think that we are unique. But I ask more, for example, why? Why people are afraid trees? And there's a lot of rational justification. Because they notice that sometimes branches kill people, yes, for example, or do some damages or something like this. During the storms, we have more and more strong storms, winds and so on, heavy rains and so on. Some trees could be dangerous, and also a lot of media information connected with accidents connected with trees, yes. I had a speech several years ago when I showed how this media info is fixed only on the tree, but not on the driver, on the car, and so on. It was also for me a little surprising when I look how people can explain and see the real dangers, and in the same time they say, I don't afraid because I can live this way, I can behave this way to omit these dangerous situations. Yes, I can, but still people expect that municipalities, yes, and decision makers, I can say, yes, we will take care about trees and plant, even if some of these trees are a little dangerous. And this is the biggest part of the population. It's fascinating to see that more and more population is really involved, not only activists, is involved in the area of nature, yes, and they really appreciate the surrounding, the green surrounding.
That's very interesting. I remember when we were writing together in the group the standard of tree assessment, we were very clear we want to remove this. Our profession is also in some parts of the world still very risk-oriented, and trees are risk and trees are dangerous. And it was one of our big inputs. We wanted to remove this idea trees are just risk and we just need to manage risk. If you could give some message to local officials, because they also communicate about their trees, what would be your message, how to communicate about risk, trees, and tree management?
I think they could or should even focus on tree valuation. So I really appreciate this part of arboricultural standards. Yes, tree valuation is so unique because there is a big range of different values of trees, not only the standards, but also personal values, yes, so people, social values. And there's a lot of tree protectors, we can say, in society, and they can find good value for each target. For people who are more economical oriented, they can say we have a lot of asset here, yes. For people who are more psychological oriented, they can say it's good for your well-being or something like this. For people who are historically oriented or culturally and so on, they can say trees are the background for our identity. Yes, and sometimes there are connections with buildings, with old monumental things and something like this. So I think that for tree protectors, tree values, different values, the range of values is very, very important. But the second is try to have no really dangerous trees in the specific areas for most intense usage and so on, the walk sites on the streets, in the parks with sitting places and so on. It's very important because one accident can cancel a lot of efforts. So I think it's very important. Of course, we should appreciate trees, see the values, but from the other hand, we should keep the trees in public areas as safe as reasonably possible. And yes, the last one, I think is also important to talk with people. Yes, to talk with the society and finding some operating identities, yes, people, entities, I can say, organization, people, yes, and so on, to have not only people against the municipality felling trees, yes, but also people who can explain in social media, for example, something like this, from the other side, yes, from the society side.
Talking about standards, you were co-author of European Arboricultural Standards, but also first Polish standards. When you walk through Poland, do you have some particular place where you feel very content and say, okay, here they understand the standards and they are really implementing?
For me, there are two signs where people in the city or in this area, it could be a private park, yes, really understand trees. This is caring about the root system, for example, mulching or protecting the root area, and that wood management, natural mulching and so on, but also leaving some pieces of wood, yes, or managing that wood to make some shelters for hedgehogs or for trees. Yes, this is if you go to a city or into the park and you see clean lawns, yes,
Yeah.
and really clean trees, something is wrong, yes, and you don't hear then any birds. Clean areas, yes, maybe they are safe, but they are not natural.
You spoke today about how you are trying to help the implementation of all of these standards in Poland. Do you maybe have a feeling which is a real friction point, or where the municipalities have a problem of implementing some standard or part of the standard, what is for them quite hard to accept and to change?
You know, if you have the local authority, they have to do something, yes? And if they have some documentation, some regulation, they are protected from the law, from the accidents and so on, lawyers, yeah? So this is a good point for them. And the negative aspect of implementing standards is potential duty for them and for the staff and so on, because there are new responsibilities to check, to learn and so on and so on. So this is a good balance, and sometimes it's difficult to decide which should be underlined in the discussion, yes? But both are important. So I think it's also important for implementers to show these two things. Yes, it will be another duty, it will be new duties for you, you have to learn something, but if you will implement something, some regulation, you have a real tool in your hand. In a kind of accident, you are protected.
Going back to your career as a researcher, I mean, you always hope when you do some research that the data will be really used and you will make some change. But do you have some case where you know you did the research about trees and it was really implemented by some municipality or public authority?
I cooperate also with scientists. For example, Beata Pachnowska and her team in SGGW Warsaw, and I help them sometimes to do something, and they have really nice articles in science, for example, in Nature. So I think it's also good to see the name in the such good articles, for example, about safety of the trees with a big hole. Yeah, it's one of this topic I like.
Talking about writing standards, and you were involved in the European, so very international team, then in the national standards in Poland. What's your experience? You as a psychologist, you have a little different perspective.
I don't think I look at the process in different way, but I think in each of this process on national level, international level, it's also a language problem. In national level, it's a little easier in this area, but I think it's always the same that we are starting from different perspective, and on the very end we should have only one perspective. Yeah? And this is very important to have people with different perspective and agreement on the very end in collaborative way. Discussing is sometimes very hot, yes? You know, you remember it, yes? But because we try in a peer, yes, in a group of 10 people, combine different perspective of different target group from the whole country or whole Europe, as it was in European countries. It was very interesting to see how people from Italy, from Spain, from Poland, what they noticed, what they discussed, what they expected. Yes, so I think on the local, national level, you have different regional differences. Yes, but in the European level, you have national, yes, language, conceptual differences.
What are your actual projects that you are working now at this point?
There are 2 projects started. Yes, first, you know, both you know.
Yes.
yes, hopefully we will be during the whole project together cooperate. One is the Erasmus project, Erasmus Plus project connected with European Tree Assessor certification. I hope it will be possible to develop it. How it will be and what will be in the end, it will be the effect of cooperation, yes? And the second part is the first project by EEC connected with urban forestry, I think, so the more than single tree or group of tree, and addressed to tree managers. So certification connected with tree managing, and I hope it will be started again because it was started several months ago, and now we have decision to establish a working group, and the deadline is about 1.5 years to finish the full proposal for this. And I think people wait for new certifications, really. Yeah, especially from the decision makers part.
Yeah.
But also assessing. Yes, the assessment area in arboriculture is developing so fastly now that we need some certification to make some barriers, some limits. Yes, but more responsibility also from tree assessors, but also proof of competences. You know that qualification should be proven.
Thank you, Beata. It's
Thank
always
you.
pleasure.
Also for me.